Hello, everybody. So one of the things I love about hanging out with Gregg Ortiz is he fixed my hair. He got rid of all those flyaways. And now we are going to give you a tour of just the living room area of his house. You're going to see his first and second doll creations and some wonderful, amazing creations from important artists. So, where's Gregg?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Rachel, how are you?
Oh my gosh, we are so good. How are you?
Good, good. Hi, everybody.
Hi. So everyone is hopping on the video. We are so excited to be here. May
welcome.
we come in?
Oh my gosh, yes. Come on in. Come on in.
Okay. So here we are, everybody. I'm going to turn the camera around and you're going to see right when we walk in the door, Gregg,
this is our little humble home.
This is your little humble home. It is amazing. You two love, what do you love? You love a lot of antiques.
Love a lot of antiques, and wherever we can find a spot to sit, then that's kind of where we kind of hang.
Mm-hmm. Well, the dolls take up most of your sitting spots, which, hey,
It is the most important part.
is the most important part.
They take precedence over our sitting and commodities, and then other than that, we just coexist.
Yes, I love it. This is coexisting
So
with
come on
dolls.
and take a look.
We are going to be doing so many incredible things. I am still beside myself. We just had a little tour because we're going to film for the virtual convention. But right now, we are walking in, and right as you walk in, it is just a magical, incredible, amazing place. Gregg, what I just cannot believe. He's been telling me about his first doll creation.
Yes.
But-
So years ago, when I first was dabbling into the doll world, I decided to try my hand at making something. So I created this almost like a 5-foot Little Mermaid with 5 tails, 2,000 freshwater pearls, and this is what we have. Is what she's about
Okay,
to
so
show
what
you.
you're going to see is his first doll creation art. Check it out. This is unbelievable. How did you know what to do?
I didn't, and oddly enough, if my mom goes through her jewelry box, she will find jewelry that's missing because it's on my doll. Love you, Mom, just in case you're watching this. But we have 4,000 freshwater pearls, hand sewn. It took about a year to do. She sits on a authentic cypress wood piece of driftwood, and her tail is 5 tails, and it's between sequins and sea beads and costume jewelry, anywhere from the 50s and up. And
Isn't this
That's all I could
unbelievable,
come up with.
everybody? This is all he could come up with. This is his first doll. And it's sculpture. It's not. It's just amazing.
no, there's no book on how to make dolls, so I kind of had to figure it out as I went.
And
So-
you're
so,
not
yeah.
formally trained. Tell us about your formal training.
No, so I'm self-taught artist. However, I'm one of those people that I just keep trying to figure things out until it works. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer than usual, but I'll get through it. And thank God for Google.
Thank God for Google and YouTube. We can figure out
my
almost
God,
everything
yes,
that way.
yes, yes.
So you have some very important artist dolls in this room. One artist that is very important to you. Where can we start with your wonderful dolls in this room?
Well, the most important artist in this room is my mentor, which is Pat Thompson, and she is known for her elaborate and most extensive collection of antiques, where she incorporated them throughout her dolls. So I'll give you a tour on how that is. This is one of them over here.
Okay, look at this.
This one has over 12 yards of antique lace, and I mean antique as in 17th century antique, all hand done by artisans.
Look at that lace, everybody.
And then here it's trimmed with these Swiss knots and layered. Each petal is taken one by one and then layered with netting and some type of satin or silk. And then they're sewn together in clusters to create just one section. And if you notice, it goes through the entire dress. And this is over 12 yards of fabric.
Look
It is
at this.
continuous. And it's amazing how they're able to make this so cohesive.
Isn't this just wild, everybody? Look, I'm going to pull back so you guys can see, and then we're going to look up a little bit closer. Pat Thompson is your most important mentor. And how did she get you started? You wanted a job.
Well, we had a store, and so we went to New York City just to try to buy new product, and we came across Toy Fair. We were like, let's go check this out. We went to Toy Fair and came across this brilliant artist, and she was in the front of the showroom, and I just fell in love. I was almost kind of a stalker because I was just determined that I was going to work for her or just learn from her, and both ways it worked out. So, but she's one of the iconic artists from the 90s, actually before the 90s, but I met her in the 90s, and it's something that I will treasure for as long as I live.
Okay, let's look at the doll. It is so wonderful. These mentors, and she is phenomenal. So when you saw this doll, you just fell in love.
Oh, I had to have it. So she did private showings at her studio once a year, and we would attend, and every year we would acquire one of them. She's got authentic pheasant feathers, Austrian feathers, just everything she used. Human hair eyelashes, hand-blown glass eyes, porcelain, full body, and they're about close to 46 inches in height. But she spared no expense and just the quality of fabrics that she used.
It's wonderful. Absolutely divine. And you have a couple of her dolls, but one of the dolls that I want to talk about next, I guess, is a doll. Do you consider it a doll?
I don't know what it is. It's just something that I love. It was the second doll I ever created.
Oh, it's everything.
It's too massive to send anywhere, so it's remained in my home. It's a half horse, half child. It's a centaur, and I incorporated between mohair and European laces and Angora hair, costume jewelry. The face is sculpted out of a clay medium, but it took just about the same length as the first doll I created, which was about a year.
About a year to create.
Yeah.
Okay, so for everybody tuning in, this is Gregg's only his second creation. Could you imagine? I mean, it's just like, could you imagine having this as your second creation? Okay, I'm going to move over here so you guys can see the side. This is wild.
A lot of coffee, a lot of Red Bull.
Yes. Just amazing. And now, is this where you keep her?
Yes, she remains on the dining room table. The wonderful fabrics that we use, this is actually metallic fabric. It's actually, if you feel it, it's cold at the touch, and it's metal. And then over here, it's layered between layers of sheer, velvet, and then this European lace. This is exquisite. It has a variation of lavenders and wonderful, plum colors. And then inside, we've got layers of satin and then sheer fabrics. It just, being that it was going to stay with me, I kind of used as much as I could possibly add to it.
And he told me about this fabric. It was very expensive and hard to get, and he bought it, and then he could only make one sleeve, and so he had to go buy more for the other sleeve.
So I had to get a third job.
He had to get a third job for it. But look at her bling. And now, does she have a name?
No, she does not have a name.
She does not have a name.
Yeah, but she remains with me, and I think she will stay with me for a long time.
Amazing. All right, Gregg, you hold this because I want people to see.
The scale.
Can you guys
That'd be
see the scale of this incredible, oh, and also look at the chandelier. This is awesome. Okay, so over here in this area right here are two more of Pat Thompson's amazing dolls. Gregg, tell us about these.
Now, these are, since we were friends with Pat Thompson, annually we would go to her shows, and these were private shows, so it was very exclusive to even view them, let alone own one. And I just made certain that every year I would acquire one that would go into my collection.
Look at that. Okay, we're gonna get closer so you guys can see. Is this is all lace and fabric and?
Yeah, so everything is antique. Now, mind you,
this is all antique.
The quantity to acquire just to complete a garment, let alone each one of these petals are hand placed
Yes.
And they're layered, each petal, just to give the variation of the colors that you see now.
Gregg has such an incredible appreciation for textiles. It shows through in everything he collects, and of course it shows through in his work. This is amazing. Now let's get up a little bit closer so we can see this gorgeous girl. Again.
That one's Camille. Now all the ribbon work that goes through all of the edging throughout the entire garment is all silk ribbons.
Look at that.
They're just gathered, and it's just hundreds of yards that go through it. And this one is silk and sheer, like an organza type of fabric. And the mask that it holds right here is actually, it's called Beauty and the Beast. This is actually the Beast mask, and she's the beauty. And we can see why. And it's just layers. Let's see if I can.
So many amazing layers.
Shoes. It's underneath here somewhere. There we go.
Here.
I keep them wrapped. She sculpted out of porcelain, and it's just very rare to have. So I just want to make sure that she stays secure at all times.
So awesome. Now, you guys saw on my page, I posted the Patty Play Pals, and there's Sweet Sue's, and so many vintage dolls. But what I love is that Gregg's collection has some, like literally some of everything. Do you have, Gregg, any antiques? Any antique dolls? He's thinking. He's thinking.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking to your friends.
No.
Sorry. I'm just like trying
Oh,
to.
yeah, you
sit
just,
here.
I was
ready to take a break.
I
Wait.
think that's the only thing that I haven't seen yet, but also
Antique
we
dolls?
haven't gone through. Yes.
I do.
He does.
have a couple of antique dolls.
So he has everything.
So that's actually in my studio because it keeps me grounded to know where I began and what I look forward to, because antique dolls are so precious to me.
Yes.
And so hard to come by, let alone the fact that they've lived for so long and still preserved. It shows the quality and workmanship that goes into those pieces. So yes, I cherish them dearly.
Don't you just love him, you guys? I am obsessed with you. Okay, so we're going to look at so much. So when we went in, and Gregg styled my hair, by the way. When we went into Gregg's studio, I had to stop because it was so absolutely incredible. I lost my breath. It's going to be at the virtual convention. Amazing. But right now we are in the living room, which is amazing. So we're going to look at, and now you have a couple Annette Hempstead dolls.
Yes.
And that I just love her.
We have several porcelain, which any of her creations are amazing, but we love her porcelains the most.
Now I know a lot of you watching do have some Annette Hempsteads.
We have
Fabulous.
these two lovely African American dolls. They're mohair wigs, hand knotted mohair wigs, and she just has a wonderful touch when she uses all these fabrics that she coordinates together, and just the translucency in her porcelains, because she uses such high firings in quantity that it's just, I don't think anybody can touch that. They're just beautiful. They
are just beautiful. Now, who is this sweet girl over here?
This is Sylvia Weser. She's another German artist. And she was known for doing her one-of-a-kinds. Actually, most of it is porcelain. I think there's maybe a little bit towards the torso that is cloth. But she does another excellent artist that does beautiful work with detail. And it's just masterful what she does.
Isn't that wonderful? Oh, and I just love her red hair. Red hair is my favorite color.
Oh, I love red hair.
Is it one of your favorites too?
Definitely.
Yeah. You don't see it as much. It's probably one of the least that you see.
But you know, one thing about porcelain is that people may think, I guess, that porcelain is easy to paint, but it's not. You have to do them in layers, and to get that translucency with the rouging and just the expression, it's a very, very time-consuming process. And I think she does it very well. She executes it well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So okay, we're just turning. Isn't this just magical? So magical. Now I asked where they sit, and it's right here on the edge.
Just that one spot.
Just the one spot. Look at this. So much fun. Okay, so we have two
This
precious
is also
girls.
Sylvia Weser. She's a German artist. The dolls are about 32 inches in height. And she uses a eclectic type of fabrics and textiles. So she mixes
Yes.
contemporary and old at the same time.
And that's one thing that you like to do is to mix, but you do a lot. You do a lot of antique. Is that one of the things that you really try to do?
Well, my whole reasoning behind mixing the fabrics is that two things. One, it's hard to find just strictly antiques. But then when you combine the two, then you're giving the old new life. And it's a great contrast in texture. So I love doing that.
I love it. Giving the old new life. I love that. Okay, now this girl is just marvelous. I love ethnic dolls for so many reasons.
They're hard to come by too.
are.
So this is a gypsy doll, and she's, I don't know, mulatto. I guess
Yeah,
that's kind of like me.
Yeah.
I'm mulatto.
You're mulatto?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love her.
So we acquired her. I want to say in the 90s. This is I want to say approximately before I started sculpting. So we were very into dolls, and we still are. But as an artist, then obviously I had to tone it down because the business and the passion to just keep creating. So, but I'm happy to have these.
Oh, no, they're wonderful. And you obviously like masks. We're going to be doing a mask workshop with the wonderful Gregg.
I love theater.
He loves theater. Yeah. He has done so much with theater. He was telling me last night he even was in Japan for 6 months starring in a play. I mean, it's just so cool.
So we were able to perform as well throughout the years, and so I just keep all that dear to me. So.
Oh, and I love it. And your dolls are almost like a way of performing because it's just
it's
like
an extension of oneself. Every artist, knows that you leave part of you, so it's important that you're completely taken in by what you do and just portray it through your work.
I love it. Okay, so where are we standing right now?
So we're standing in the den, and this is kind of like a sitting room. This is kind of a place where I come and I sit when I'm just trying to just have a moment and gather my thoughts.
I love it. Okay, these look like Annette Hempstead to me.
Yes, these are Annette Hempsteads, and then behind them, facing the wall, that's a little collection of hand-painted porcelains, the ones in the wall.
Oh, these are wonderful.
Yes.
And these are antiques.
Yeah, those are antiques.
Those are fabulous.
All wonderful antique, hand-painted.
I had no idea you guys were such antique collectors, too. I love that.
It's a mix. I think it all goes together, so, and it goes well with the new and the old.
Oh, it does.
If you love something, you put it together, it will go together.
Absolutely. If you love it and you can make it work, look at... Oh, I just love this. Okay, so we're getting to know our dolls. Yes.
This one is my prized possession of Pat Thompson. This is a bride doll, and she only produced, I think, 2 to my knowledge. This is an actual bouquet that came from an actual wedding from the 17 or 1800s, and it belonged to the actual bride. And these are 2 wedding gowns that are put together for this specific doll, but it's 100% antiques.
Wow. Look at that. Oh, for all of our fabric and textile lovers, you guys are just going to be in heaven looking at this. And isn't it so nice to hang out with somebody that just totally appreciates antique textiles and fabrics? Let me get down there so you guys can just see. It's almost like you want to touch through the screen and feel it.
She's over 40 inches in height, and I think the train span is about 36 inches in a circular formation. Beautiful.
Now look at this, a Nora Wellings. What? Look.
And you know that these are hard to find because the taller ones, the larger ones, are really hard to find. I found this one at an event, and I just couldn't leave her. She definitely had to come home with me.
I have never seen a Nora Wellings this big, ever, in my life.
And of course, I learned myself that the larger ones that she created have glass eyes. I can actually lift her so you can see her.
Yeah.
She was known for painting her eyes, but the larger ones, or the ones that were very limited, had the hand-blown glass eyes.
That's amazing. Look at that. Oh, her facial features are fabulous. Original paint. Look at that. So awesome. I'm going to pull back so you guys can just see how large. Have you ever seen a Nora Wellings that big? Ever? I have never. So rare. Congratulations on that find. She's wonderful.
So she's definitely... I've always loved the larger dolls for some reason. Can
now,
never get enough of those.
These are so sweet.
Now, Hempstead produced these dolls, and there are only 30 of them in existence. And so we became good friends with her throughout the years, and so we were able to acquire one of these. When she first released these, early in the 90s.
Now, in the 90s, that had to have been like pretty cutting edge to be doing this color hair.
It was. She was before her time when she was doing this color hair, because now it's kind of like normal.
Yeah.
But back
the
then
time,
it was a little bit, striking.
For sure.
Yeah. And then
So that's another Annette Himstead. She's wonderful.
That's the pair to the green one.
Love.
And then this artist is Renata Horn. She is another German artist, and these are actually out of clay. It's a wax medium. Mm-hmm.
Look at, I love the teeth, of
these
course.
These are all one of a kinds.
Oh, they're so realistic.
But these are most of the dolls that I have are from the 90s, because this is when I began my career. And so I looked up to many, many of these artists as I do now today.
Isn't that just wonderful?
This one's a Joan Blackwood.
Joan Blackwood. I have not heard of her.
Yes, she has a twin sister, Jane Blackwood, and they both are sculptors, which is amazing to have twins that actually sculpted. And they did events at Disney and throughout. I believe they both retired, but their genre was more children and mother figures.
Amazing. Isn't this incredible, everybody? We're just learning about all these different artists and experiencing so much. This looks like Pat Thompson.
It is.
Okay.
And so she did a limited edition for the first time, and it was an Oriental version, and still with the same quality and workmanship. All of this is handcrafted, and each, like I had said before, the petals are layered one by one and then created into clusters to create the trim work of these garments. She's just exquisite.
She is exquisite. Now,
these are Pat
Thompson. I love it. Pat Thompson is his. Now, is she still alive?
No, she's passed.
She's
passed.
Okay.
Yes.
But she was an incredible person and made such a mark in your life.
And she was amazing, because she was one of those artists that she just took you in. If you had any questions and you needed to learn something, she took the time and explained and shared, her experiences and artistry with you.
And is that something that you strive for as an artist too?
I do. As an artist, you're only good as your last work, and it's always good to share your work with others, because when you do that, you not only help others, but you learn through the process. And if, just like Pat did with me, I would do with any other artist, because it only helps the industry.
Absolutely. And I told Gregg, and I don't know how much he knows how much this means to us, because to be here and to experience it and to have you guide us and show us that you can do and be all these different things is really impactful. It is so impactful for so many of us. So you guys, this place is amazing.
But there's more.
Stay with us. We're not going to, the studio's going to air in the convention, and so is the bedroom.
Yes. Now, not only do I collect dolls, but just anything artful. So throughout my years, I've come across a lot of things, and went to an estate sale, and lo and behold, there was this artwork that I didn't know what it was. Well, it happens to be Broadway sketches from costuming. And so we framed that, and that's part of the collection.
Oh, for sure. Look at these. With the theater. I love this.
So these are the sketches that they would use when the costumers or the designers would create the costumes for Broadway shows. And this is an original.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
You guys have fabulous taste in art. Oh, I love these little embroidered pieces.
Yeah, we've got the embroidery.
Oh, look at that.
It's
so
art.
Sweet.
Gotta love it.
Oh my gosh, and the teddy bear. The little boy with the teddy bear.
It all ties in. Any art form is art. So
any art form is art. So true.
Here's the male version of the bridesmaid. This is the Prince Charming version.
Oh, he is Prince Charming.
That's what I look like when I wake up. Early in the morning.
But here's the thing, I believe it.
I know.
I believe it. So we're going to...
Over here?
Yeah.
Follow me.
Okay.
So this is a one-of-a-kind artist we met in Atlanta. He actually painted on parchment paper.
I'm going to pull back so you guys can see how big it is. Yeah. This is a large, wonderful painting. But on parchment paper, that's very ephemeral. That's not a...
No, so normally you paint on canvas,
Right.
but this artist saw beyond. If it was flat and you could paint on it, he did it. And it's just breathtaking, so we have that part of our collection.
Speaking of seeing beyond, I'm just going to turn the camera around. We're going to go in there in the convention, you guys. Unbelievable. But we're going to show you his office right now. Look at this. Oh my gosh.
So this is the office. This is where I kind of did the business
Yes.
portion of it. But
yes.
you still have to have fun while you're in here. So I surround myself with the dolls and everything that makes me creative. So this way we can get work done.
Yeah, you get so much work done. You must stay extremely focused. What is a typical day like for you?
A typical day is getting up in the morning, having a cup of coffee. Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta have our coffee, but then you have to kind of gather your thoughts, what your plan is and goals, and where you're going for the day. And so I kind of surround myself with all this stuff because it's something that I have to absorb in my world in order to be productive. And that's kind of like you live and breathe what you sell. So this is it.
I love it. You have to be surrounded by love and things that make you happy. And Gregg does that. This is terrific. Okay, I want to talk about the dolls up top here. Those look like Annette Hempstead's.
Those are Annette Hempstead's, and they were early in the 80s.
They look like it. I
Yeah,
love
the 80s.
them.
She actually collaborated with Mattel, and these are specifically World Children is what they were called, and they were a partnership with Mattel Toys. So these are the originals, and they're all hand-signed by Annette herself.
Love it.
She was another artist that I was privileged to meet and befriend, and I just hold them dear and near because she's an amazing artist.
She is an amazing artist,
Yes.
and I love her hair.
And then we have the collectibles. You gotta have the
Have some
figurines.
Hummels.
Yeah, you have to do that. And then down here, of course, is kind of like work in progress. A lot of these dolls are finds of needing garments that are needing to be restored. So I also dabble in that. I restore the vintage dolls and bring them back to life to their original form.
Is this Mimi?
That's Mimi. She's
Yes.
missing her original outfit, but what I do is I restyle them, I clean them up and make them beautiful, and enjoy them while I can before they find them new homes.
Well, I know from how he restyled my hair from this morning,
It
he
wasn't
is
hard. It
a
was a quick
magician.
little-
Just a quick little
It was
shoo
already
shoo,
there.
and
You're
I'm
already
like
perfect.
ready for the Academy Awards. It's
You can't ask for
fabulous.
perfection.
Well, he did, and it helped a lot. These sweet girls are ready to go to Disney.
Yes, we have the wonderful Ideal Play Pals. Everybody knows those, and they're beautiful. But being in Orlando, we had to bring them to Disney World.
And it looks like they had a great time.
They did. They're on tour.
Now-
They're ready for the monorail.
Did you design this Minnie Mouse?
Now, this one is a web figure.
Okay.
They're actually mannequins that belonged at Walt Disney World, and I was able to acquire one. They were usually displayed for showcases inside the department stores for their merchandise.
Look at
So
that. I
that's
love
about
her.
45 inches in height, probably the size of a Peter Play Pal. So they're pretty substantial in size.
They're wonderful. I'm going to get down so you guys can see more of the Patty Play Pals right here. Now, who? That's not. Who
That's
is
a
that?
Betsy
That's
McCall. That's
Betsy
a Betsy
McCall.
McCall.
Okay.
Dressed in a Patty Pal dress, and then I had a custom-made apron done for her with Disney.
Now, I want to talk about Pluto for a second. You played Pluto. Who else did you play?
Oh, different character. I was like, wait, what?
He didn't know
When
I
we
was
moved
going to turn the
furniture, I
camera
didn't
around.
know.
You didn't know. Sorry.
I also moved furniture on the side. But I did different characters at Disney. So I worked in entertainment for many, many years. And so as a performer, you had to do several roles. And so I did Mowgli and Pluto and
I love it.
all those wonderful characters that we grew up with. And it was just the best thing ever.
It is the best thing ever. Disney just plays such a role in so many of our lives, and it's obvious in here just how much it has meant to you with your figurines and the collaborations you've done. A lot of your figures have been sold at Disney.
Yeah, so once I kind of went through the stage of performing, there was something missing for me. So licensing was the next best thing for me. And I was honored that they gave me the opportunity. So I was able to produce Mickey Mouse as Mickey Mouse Sorcerer, The Apprentice, the classic Mickey, Winnie the Pooh, just to name a few, and create limited editions that were licensed through Disney, which was just like cherry on the ice cream.
Isn't he the most humble guy? And we're going to see the covers of his magazines over here. He is so humble and he is so inviting, but yet you've done incredible things, amazing things, Greg.
Well, I feel like I've just been able to contribute, but it's something that I just love to do, so I don't see it as like something really of a big deal. But,
right.
You know, I just appreciate being able to do what I love, so I don't know.
It's a big deal, though, to us, and to see it and to share it and to talk with you is just amazing. So it came out of Disney World.
Yes, that was actually an original window display that was at, let's see, it was called the Emporium window on Main Street at Walt Disney World. But we're able to achieve those through auctions, and so it's just part of history, just being enjoyed here in this room.
So cool. And of course, there's olive oil
that we created, yes.
Yes.
And then we moved down to the Madame Alexander Betty. She's a 30-inch doll. It was produced 1 year. She has flirty eyes. She's all original. She's been completely restored by myself, and I'm just glad to have her in my collection.
Oh, I love them. They have so much personality.
You know what's so amazing it's just so impressive to me about these dolls is that these dolls were played with. Mm-hmm. And to be able to find these dolls intact with the original clothing, they were not cheap to have. Mm-hmm. But it shows the quality of the companies that produce these dolls, and I think that's what gets my attention the most.
Yes.
The durability.
That's so true. So true. And there's
Fraggle. Fraggle. That's actually the prototype.
This is the prototype. How cool is that?
Yeah, he's a prominent in my office. So
oh, he's got to be one of your most favorites ever, right?
It is. It's one of the most ever. It's
she.
beautiful.
I'm sorry, she.
Yeah. Why do we keep saying he?
I don't know.
I mean, I dress like that.
Maybe because she's
with the pigtails.
So sweet. So, Greg, you have been on the cover of a lot of prestigious magazines, dolls, Poopin, help me pronounce that.
That's German. It's Poopin. I believe Poopin means dolls.
Yes, it does.
And I'm not sure what the last name means, but I've been honored by being featured in many of these magazines, and I hope to be on many more.
We hope so too. I wish we had copies. We should get some of these covers so we can download them for the convention, and you guys can put them on your walls. Look at these wonderful girls up here. Now, are these all Annette Hempstead as well?
Yes, they're all Hempsteads. The one's missing her hair, but it's sitting on her lap. It needs to be recreated.
It happens.
Yeah, we all have bad hair day.
At least she still has it.
She does. But these are beautiful dolls that bring wonderful memories to me, because it was early on in my career where I knew I loved dolls, but there was more to it, and then I figured out that I wanted to be a sculptor. So I embrace all these artists personally because I got to meet them, and they embraced me as well. So important. Embracing, acceptance, it's just incredible. And that is something you have given us. Here's some more of Gregg's cover of Doll Reader, the men's issue. Ooh. Yeah, see?
That's awesome. Yes, it is. And is that the Mickey you did?
Yeah, that was early on, the very first licensed Mickey I had done. It was a limited edition for the galleries, exclusive to the parks.
Exclusive to the parks. How
Actually,
fabulous.
Here's the Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, there's Winnie the Pooh. How cute. Oh, I love him. Oh, look at that. Okay, and then here, the men's issue. I love that. Oh, Gregg Ortiz and his passion. Isn't this so cool, everybody, to see all of this? How amazing. Okay, so you're just gonna get a little teaser right here, everybody. But this is truly out of this world good. And we're gonna see an entire tour at the January Virtual Doll Convention, plus have a mask making workshop back there in his studio. Have you ever seen a more magical studio than this? I have not. Ever in my life. Just because we gotta. Shh. Look at this. I know you're screaming, but calm down. Actually, you can't. You can't calm down. Can't keep calm when this is around, Gregg. We can't. Sorry, we're screaming.
Actually, you know what?
We're screaming. Scream with us.
I have a Mickey that I can show you.
Oh, let's see Mickey.
Come back.
Okay. And then the wall of Patty Play Pals in his room. Amazing. Okay, we're going to go look at Mickey. We love Mickey.
I totally
Don't we love Mickey?
Overlooked it.
Oh, look at this.
This was a Mickey that I did for One of a Kind, and it is a 4-paneled watercolor, painted 4-sided. But he's about probably 11 inches with the box. I want to say it's probably 16, 18 inches in height. But the theme is Sleeping Beauty.
Amazing. I love it.
And then it kind of takes you through the story.
And did you paint these?
Yes, everything is
Oh my
hand-painted
gosh,
by
so
me.
you do,
Yes.
you know so many different types
so when
of
I
art.
first started, I was an artist. I actually just painted. I was just a 2-dimensional artist. So the sculpting came in afterwards. But I've always painted as a child.
Look at that.
And then, of course, I incorporated the sculpting and using the antique fabrics. And then, of course, here we have Maleficent. And I'll play the music box.
It's here. Guys, Gregg is so multifaceted, so talented, so warm, so giving. I could just scream. In fact, yeah, let's do it. So we're going to sign off. Share the video. I hope you guys loved. Yeah, share. That's really how you can support us and get the message out there, so other people can see it and be invited into this kind of conversation in this world. So we're going to go do some filming, but we're going to be back. We're not going to leave you hanging. So stay with us.
Grab some water.
Yeah, grab some water. Be right back. All right. We'll see you guys. Bye.